iron in the soul. Many of you, when it gets dark, you start doing stuff you shouldn't be doing. When it gets dark, that's when you start blowing out the smoke. Got that gas on deck. Right? And I'm not judging you. I'm putting out, don't get mad at me. You crack that bottle, crap that hen dog. But get teed up. Drunk, I'm out here. Leaning like a kickstand. So when it gets dark, it's a tendency to start leaning. It's a tendency to start drinking. Let me get on this phone, let me call old girl up. I'm like, I know you don't like to do. You get mad at, don't get mad at your big brother. I'm talking to you. You got the phone now. You're trying to call old girl. Late at night. You know what you call somebody 1 o'clock in the morning? You know what you on? Scared. That's what you on. It's a tendency when it gets dark to do all this dark stuff. And you are going to have to get your mind right if you're going to cross over to the next level. Because right before you go to that next level, you're going to have that darkness. And that's your test. There has to be a strong test before you get blessed. And I'm not trying to be corny, generic. I'm being dead serious. Before that you get that blessing, you will have that testing. And when it gets dark, it's a tendency to do dark stuff. And I'm trying to tell you as your big brother, don't do that. Stand strong. Do what you need to do to get to the next level. What's up, YouTube? This is your big brother, King Jabez. About to say another very important message. Please subscribe to my channel. Like this video. Share this video. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about my content. In addition to that, please feel free to follow me over on Instagram at TheKingJabez, as well as my website, theironofsoul.com. Whatever you decide to do, it will be greatly appreciated. Today's video is entitled, Chosen Ones Must Suffer with a Purpose. And so today we're talking about a very important topic. We're not going through pain just for the purpose of going through pain. We're not out here taking L's in life just to take L's. We suffer with a purpose. This is why we are chosen. So I'm going to begin today's video with a dream that the Most High gave me. And this dream is concerning a famous man. And I won't give the name because for many of you, you would discredit the level of revelation behind this because of that person. So it's not about him. This is about you. This is about me. So if you are a lady, listen to this. This message is for you. If you are a man, listen to this. This is for you. If you have absolutely no desire to be known, this is still for you because there's a revelation behind this. So in this dream, this known man was on a journey. He was traveling by walking, trying to get on a bus. At one point, he was flying. At another point, he was getting into a car. So the car, the walking, the bus, the flying, all speaks of journey. That's the revelation behind it. It all speaks of destination. Destiny is often a destination. You're going somewhere. And on this man's journey, he was met with opposition every place he went. For example, when this man started flying, by the way, in a dream of supernatural speaks of going to another dimension or another world. I believe in the spirit realm, and many of you who follow me believe in that as well. So it speaks of the spirit world. So when he was flying, this spirit went behind him, following him while he was flying. When he got on the bus, he was right there standing behind him, bullying him. Like watching him, stalking him as he was getting on the bus. He had a CTA card. For those of you from Chicago like me, he had a CTA card. The CTA card didn't work. You couldn't even get on the bus. And so this speaks of constantly trying to get away, right? You feel me? Trying to get away on a bus, trying to get away by flying, trying to get into a car. And what was interesting to me is that the person that was following this individual was a man by the name of Debo. Debo is, for those who know the movie Friday, is a bully. So if you're being followed by Debo, that's not a good thing. This speaks of a bully spirit. And some of you are being pursued. You're being watched. You're being followed by bullying demons. It's that real. That simple. And so when you try to fly, which speaks of go to the spirit realm, when you're trying to get on a bus, when you're trying to get into a plane, driving a car, on a bike, running, this guy was out there in the rain. You feel me? This dream was very vivid. So it speaks of just life's journey in the rain, storms, trials, tribulations. Makes you think about a song by Ace Hood, Trials, Tribulations. Very powerful song. When Ace Hood talks about the death of his baby girl. Imagine your baby losing her life in your hands in hospital. Bill collectors constantly calling his phone, stress because of what his grandma and mama was going through. You know, just that pain of the young man who wants to get something for his family and praying to Jesus, trying to get help. This is all in the song, by the way. You feel me? Trials and tribulations. And trying to escape that stench, that pain of being broke. Right? This is something that a lot of us have been through. And if you're not going through it right now, there is a good chance at some point you have been through this in your own life. And I want to say to you today that this message speaks to you. This isn't just about this known person, because after all of that happened, the dream was constant transition in the scenes, as you can imagine. And it went from being in the air, right? I'm going to review real quick. Being followed by Debo in the air. Debo was behind me. I'm talking about, this is very vivid. Debo was there in the air. Debo was behind him when he was on that bus. He was in that car. This speaks of that spirit. It's a spirit. It's a curse. I'm going to speak to you because you're not getting this. It's a curse following you. And everywhere you go, it keeps following you. You run it, and it's right there, like Debo. And finally, after all of that, he finally broke out. And it gave him this platform, and when he broke out, everybody went right behind him. It was like they was waiting. It was like, oh, took off right with him. So this speaks to you. This speaks of suffering with a purpose. And many of you, just like this dream, this has been your life. You're doing everything you can. You're flying. That means you're in the spirit realm. You're praying, meditating, reading. You're trying to escape spiritually. You're trying to escape physically. You're trying to travel. You're doing everything you can. Sometimes working 2 jobs. Working, doing everything possible to make it out. And it feels like you just can't turn that corner, right? Suffering for a reason. And that's one thing about my channel. And this is why, in my opinion, one of the reasons why I struggle to grow on my channel is because it's too raw for some people. Some of you even share with your friends. Your friends don't want to hear this. I've heard some of you tell me that. Because they don't want the truth. They want to be patted on the butt. I ain't doing it over here. You want to hear the truth over here. It's real out here. No, don't do that. And I tell you, this dream, this speaks to you. This is your life. You traveling, that flying, means the spirit realm. You're trying to get to the spiritual lane. You're trying to do it physically, mentally. You are grinding. And you keep getting followed by Debo. And, you know, that means to me what the title of this video is. It's so clear to me. Your pain is for a reason. You're not suffering just for no reason. You're not taking L's just for the purpose of taking L's. If you're watching this video and you're trying to do something, my boy, sis, your pain has a purpose. I ain't mean to flex on that. Was an accident. It just happened naturally, so I'm not editing it out either. It is what it is. And, you know, you're going through trials. You're going through tribulations. And I tell you one thing about this. We're not going to minimize. We're not going to do 2 things over here. Number 1, we're not going to minimize pain. And number 2, we're not going to talk about just bad things all the time. 2 extremes. It's an individual who tries to minimize everything. That's you. You go through something. Oh, that didn't hurt me, man. Wipe a little dust off me, man. I'm a G. No. It hurt my boy, but it didn't hurt you when it said that. You felt that. Okay, when you lose a loved one, you lose a job, you lose some bread, you feel that. So we're not going to sit here we're not going to cap about that. Pain is real. That's the purpose of this. The name of this channel, by the way, not purpose, but the name of this channel is Iron in the Soul. Iron in the Soul means extreme mental anguish. It is iron in your soul that makes you strong as iron. Some of y'all still not getting this. I've been on almost 4 years. You're not getting. That's the purpose of this channel. Is to put the iron in your soul so you can become strong as iron. Not me, but iron, the element. Huh? That's the purpose of this channel. We're not over here making winners. We're making warriors over here. We got lions and lioness over here. That's the purpose of this channel. All that stuff you went through in your life is for a reason. You didn't suffer for no reason. Just to have pain. No, there is a purpose behind your suffering. And your pain is what's going to lead to your platform. Your pain is what's going to lead to your platform. I'll give you another example of that. C.T. Fletcher. C.T. Fletcher The Compton OG himself. If you don't know if you live in Waste, you know who CT is, get in tune. You're not living right. CT Fletcher, over 1 million subs on YouTube. The OG of the fitness. He grew up in a church family whose father was a pastor, Pentecostal pastor. I never knew that. I found that out recently. But one of those kind of like weirdo type religious people who overdo it, abusing his son. And with CT, he grew up always constantly getting whooped by his daddy. Over and over again. So CT says, man, when I become a man, when I grow up, man, I can't curse, but I'm going to be the biggest, baddest up in Compton. You hear me? That was his mindset. And he did that. He was grinding, lifting weights from about 18 to all the way up to about 60-something. And he has inspired men and women all over this globe with his pain. CT. If you have never seen that video about when he's doing the bicep curls, he says, grow. I command you to grow. I listen to that probably at least once a month. Just to get myself hyped up for the gym. You feel me? All of his pain gave him this huge platform. And when people like myself all over the world who are into fitness are inspired by his journey. And it's not just about fitness if you're saying that. If you think, this ain't fitness. This ain't just about fitness. It's about life. It's not about fitness. It's about life. He took his pain and he allowed it to platform him through fitness. Other people do it through music. Other people do it through business. Other people do it through ministry, motivational talks. They find some way to take all of that suffering, all of that iron in the soul, and they become strong. So what I'm saying is they allow their pain to become their platform. And the reason that this is important, because some of you, a lot of us, we're human. I put that way, all of us are human. And sometimes when we're going through suffering and pain, it'll feel like this is never going to end. That's the deception of trials, is that I can't come out of this. And that's when depression comes in, despair. We start feeling trapped. Some of you right now, you feel trapped, right? Now I'm talking to you, you feel trapped. There's no way out of this. And that's them spirits speaking to you, trying to break your spirit. And I'm trying to encourage, I'm sitting here in this cave with you, trying to encourage you, stay strong. You're coming out of the cave. You're coming out of this season. If you can see that this pain has a purpose and understand the concept that there is no triumph without trouble. There is no triumph without trouble. If you want to triumph, you're going to have some trouble. If you want to go forward, you're going to go through pain first. You're going to take a bunch of L's first. And it may be that 1 million times. You say, I tried this 1,000,000 times. It may be the 1 million, 100 of one that you finally get that one breakthrough. Because all you need is that one big move. That's all you need. It's for something to work for you really one time. And so many people who we say get lucky, they didn't get lucky. What happened is they tried over and over again. They've tried and failed, tried and failed, tried and failed. And they had the tenacity, they had the strength to keep going. And that is what platformed them. So, give you another example of this. Bo Dill from Chicago. Shout out to Bo Dill from Chicago. He does what he calls motivations on Instagram. I saw this today on IG. And he was talking about, today's talk was, he had a friend who called him on the phone. You know, Bo Dill. He had a friend call, said, man, big bro, I'm struggling, man. It seems like nothing I do is working. And his friend saying that is probably how a lot of people feel right now. You know I'm your big brother here on this YouTube platform, right? A lot of y'all feel that way right now. You say, big bro, that is me. I feel like everything I'm doing is not working. And if you want to admit that, that's all of us at some point. All of us go through that period where nothing works. Or maybe not nothing. That's kind of extreme, but it seems like nothing's working. It gets dark for a period of time. It gets real dark. You know, it gets real dark before the sun comes out. Right? And that's just in nature itself. It's really dark before the sun rises. And in your life right now, whew, I felt that it's dark for you. You know what I mean? You know, because one thing about darkness is deceiving. When it's dark, I'm talking from my from my spirit now. When it's dark, you can't see nothing. And in darkness, you get paranoid, you get afraid, you start having crazy thoughts. Some people are afraid of the dark. You know, most babies don't like dark. They have to have a night light. Sometimes just a little light can keep you going. So when it's dark, it brings this deception of there's nothing there. And this tendency to give up when it gets dark, to panic when it gets dark, to do what you should not be doing when it gets dark. So the truth is, when it gets dark, you got to stay focused. When it gets dark, you got to do what you got to do. You have to keep perspective. And this is a time when you have to put your purpose over your pleasure. There's a tendency to lean towards pleasure because pleasure is an escape when you're going through the pain that comes with purpose. You did. Yeah, you feel me? When you're going through the pain that comes with purpose, the tendency is to escape through the avenue of pleasure. And we have to avoid that if we want to go forward. We have to avoid that if we want to prosper. We got to avoid that if we want to see our purpose fulfilled after the pain. We don't want to suffer just for no reason. To suffer and just suffer, that's a waste. As chosen ones, we're not over here just taking ills just to take ills. Our pain has a very strong, divine, eternal purpose attached to it. That's all I got for you today. This is your big brother, King Jabez. Thanks for listening. You know what time it is out here. God bless. Peace.